better as we're starting on a night market game together with 1-2 punch from fight or flight. So this game could go a lot of ways. I feel like, oh, double siphoning, there it is already.
Yeah, right? Way more people be taking 1-2 punch right now instead of the fight or flight that I might thought that we would be seeing here, though. And yeah, really interesting. Keep your eyes on card box. Kind of a big role to fill here, though, for barcode, but we'll see how it goes on here, as only one barrier goes down here for Demon's RAHH. He's right on through the middle, but can't seem to follow up. Well, Cardbox almost gets there in time. Not much more than just healing in the center stage here for Xianzhu. Rightfully Fresh gonna move up here with that Whiplash, but can't seem to get there in time. Does a little bit of damage to Snake, and now actually becoming the kill target here. They might be able to find themselves one of these power plays, which will make this point way easier.
Most definitely. You do have a lot of damage coming through continuously, though, and you see that in that double siphoning one, those two 1-2 punches picked up as well, because Snake is kind of just fighting to stay on the map, trying to stay alive. As damage gets traded back now, though, Joker also getting quite a bit low here as the flip comes out from Fudgy, but doesn't find a target, as they're going back into somewhat neutral play around the middle of the map.
Nice lifeline there, hitting both Xianzhu and Joker, keeping them nice and healthy here. Fresh responds back quickly there with some 1-2 punch Whiplash there. The ball's going to get a little bit fast here, though, as the overtime is going to roll over. Fudgy Waffle's kind of out of the play now, completely staggered out. They can't seem to get the ball past Snake right here, though. Two flips for the side of Demon's RAHH. The power play finally rolls over here. See if Showtime can get the ball, although Cardbox can keep that speed. Actually looking at killing Snake as well, maybe making a double power play. Give a couple of moments of only 1v3. Nice redirect there by Snake. It's actually going to be Demon's RAHH opening up the first gate. And Fudgy Waffles actually slams their face right into that one. A little bit too fast there. It's going to be Demon's RAHH first blood on the point.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate timing there with the Rose Warp. Cardbox not able to react to it, not able to get the flip out either to defend it, but still having that flip into this next point could be another pretty strong point. Meanwhile, Xianzhu just fighting for his life, actually, as Snake is just dumping abilities onto him. Gets incredibly effective as well, as both teams are now down on one barrier. Flip has to come out from Cardbox as the barriers still stay alive, but Xianzhu really hoping to make use of these now abilities now to get some of that HP back.
Yeah, and then just because of those abilities, just because that little bit of healing, Xianzhu does stay on the map and is just about unstaggered, although Snake does get a nice dash punch combo to secure that barrier. Joker has a chance here against Fresh, who has no cooldowns left, does actually get the thing open. Fudgy Waffle is going to help here with Fresh defend, flip right in their face. It's going to be really just a read at that point. You are too close to the goal. Showtime, the Joker, taking the next point.
Really good patience on the flip there, will get the point in, but the downside for the side of Showtime currently is that energy disadvantage that they're in, because from Demon's RAHH, almost all of them have flip soon. Rightfully Fresh still a decent bit away. Snake does get it there as well and gets a power play now for the side of Demon's RAHH, and they're not going to leave up that pressure as damage gets found across both teams again, but the second barrier drops. Rightfully Fresh now trying to run up as well, help with that pressure, but doesn't quite find the result they were looking for. As one barrier drops now, Showtime trying to equalize this, but they're still very much fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, I would say that everyone in this game is pretty much making really good use of the 1-2 punch here, making regular characters like, well, all these characters do pretty good damage, but making regular characters do, hey, just about 20% more when you do a little bit of a combo there. Almost finds the goal there. Fudgy Waffles trying to fight their way through Xianzhu. Snake running around, getting some orbs here, though. We got Fudgy Waffles spending that ult, but Joker gets on out of there with the flying away. Snake is now fully staggered. They're trying to get a kill. Snake, nice positioning there. Doesn't get hooked by the crooked leverage, but Cardbox busy with that piercing shot. Not going to be able to flip the ball to safety. Another point there for Demon's RAHH. Fudgy takes that credit.
Yeah, just barely too far out on the field there, not able to get in touch with that core anymore, and Fudgy does a really good job punishing that positioning there, as Demon's RAHH now have two flips to themselves to maybe find this first set for them. And looking at how the game overall has been played so far, it's just very much like everyone throwing hands. Like, I don't know, the HP bars are just going so fast, so consistently, and so are the barriers actually. Snake takes both of them.
Yeah, wow, I really love the aggression there from Frightfully Fresh. They ran on up there and did not leave, got the flip, really set up the positioning there for Snake to get the second barrier. And that, like you said, really quick two barriers. Fudgy's in there, making it so difficult, but Snake also is going to be covering that bottom clear. Demon's RAHH pretty handily with that point there. Takes this first set. Fudgy Waffles probably the best player on their team to get the first pick.
Yeah, nothing insane. It's jumps out to me, though. A matter of fact, actually, Fudgy might have to consider taking something away from the Now here, because Now does have a lot of good options in this draft. Super Surge finding its way onto Fudgy's going to help with that damage output and that kill confirm, but the Monumentalist on Xianzu with this Now, together with Siphoning Wand and other Awakenings that could come down the line, could actually be quite a big problem. So we'll see how that's going to pan out, as otherwise, there's just largely like a little bit of size, a little bit of movement for card box, just kind of quality of life awakenings being found for each player here.
Yeah, they definitely, I'd say Demon's Rot definitely made the decision like, yo, Now is not going to be a problem here. Although, man, did they find a quick kill right there. The Joker totally on that one to secure this power play here. One barrier goes down. Cardbox maybe trying to find a situation where they can move up and help onto this next one, although Fudgy finds himself alive now as they do get it. The ball is kind of just escaped. Oh, another kill here for the side of Showtime. Looking really good for them. Xianzu gets the ball on over to Joker. Fudgy Waffles and Snake going to try to hold for their life. We got Goliath right now. Gets the rocket on in there, but hits not a really great angle. And another kill. Showtime, that's 3 for this point right here. Now they're looking at Joker, but no one can get there in time. Right through. That was actually just the strike of gods there from Xianzu. Everyone surprised by that one. Nice one there, Xianzu. Point up.
Yeah, a really good like rotation in the way of just playing for KOs consistently to keep the power play up. Showtime just doing such a good job at executing that, as of right now, Demon's RAHH are the ones to look to get the power play into their own hands. Joker's down to stagger. Cardbox playing an incredibly aggressive line there. Takes one barrier and loses one for it, but I feel like that's a fine trade that you're going to be going for. As Joker still tries to hold on to life here. Gets taken out by Snake in the end. The Pummelers are going to come through now as well with that speed buff. So the side of Demon's RAHH are definitely looking to make use of this power play, as Xianzu has to hold out for survivability. Snake finds the first barrier, the second barrier there, and now back on in play is Joker, and gets the recovery drone out as well.
Getting some of those resources out. Fudgy Waffles can't make it there in time. That's a home run for sure. Love that emote. Piercing shot to get the ball right on through as well. Sends the ball down to Fudgy Waffles and Snake. Frightfully Fresh going to try to find some situation here with that pendulum swing. It's not going to work out. Joker on the front lines. We do have an ult here from Fudgy Waffles. A flip as well. Sends it on through. Goes past everyone. Cardbox can't get there in time. Fudgy just found that spot, especially with the 1-2 punch, making it just a little bit faster. Was probably what they needed to get that point. That was clutch.
Yeah, those angles are really hard to see and react to if you're on the defensive end of it, because they just bounce off of the edge just so perfectly. So very well played from Fudgy there, as again damage. Like I feel like we're 2 seconds into the point and Joker's HP bar is just gone almost immediately. And I feel like that is going to be something that's going to keep up the more the game progresses, because we're going to find more damage awakenings as well. Those gears are going to start scaling even more. That Siphoning Wand obviously just being such a strong gear as of right now, and you can just see it in that damage output that we're seeing across the game here, as almost at any point in the game someone is down to very little HP.
Yeah, I mean, on point starts, I see the Joker just kind of run in face first, maybe looking for some damage, and everyone is just like, yo, get out of here. Although Xianzu says get out of here, spends that flip with a primary combo, although Joker helping get another kill there. Cardbox getting involved with that one as well. The double, triple power play, a complete ace. So rare to see an ace in this game, but there you go, man. They are focused on getting these kills. Showtime, well-deserved point, no one to defend.
Xianzu and Joker, neither of them have evades, so if damage finds its way on top of them, they're just gonna have to take it, but they don't have to worry about damage if they just win every strike ward. Just take both barriers as swiftly as they do. They're really well played. Snake now returns it with a dash punch, with an ultimate as well, to almost get the score in. Doesn't actually quite find it in the end, as now Snake, again, holding on to dear life. There's just so much damage that comes out so fast each time. The hook from Kazan gonna be enough to take him out fully. As we're now in a power play for the side of Showtime, they do try to find the score, and Frightfully Fresh holding on defensively pretty well, but the piercing shots around them will do the trick.
Yeah, 1-2 punch there. That's going to be basically a red ball in before overtime with that piercing shot. Nice one there from Cardbox. Joker going to be the most active player that point. Gets their first pick here. We do have Size Kazan on the board. Team player could be pretty interesting as well. Don't see anything too much crazy. And Stinger, I mean, that really could play into exactly what they're trying to do, which is kind of smash. Although Joker decides to leave it on open, lets Luna get Deadeye, but we're probably not going to see Joker denying anything like that. Stinger actually ends up falling on down to Frightfully Fresh. See if they can get a little bit more damage there. ends up going for the specialized training, which is pretty fair. This used to, like, a really long time ago when Kazan was even before his change, before his whole overhaul. This was, like, insane, bro. This was insane. Now it's pretty good, I think, but we'll see if it plays perfectly into their damage. I mean, we could see the kills are just being exchanged left and right, so any kind of damage is probably what they're looking for.
Yeah, most definitely. That spec is on. It is gonna hurt, especially together with the explosive entrance as well, so we'll have to see how it goes in. But just generally, the entire game is just so much more damage coming through, right? Across the board, Deadeye, Stinger, Glass Cannon even itself as well. Like, it's gonna be so much more difficult and so much more important as well to time your evades and make sure that energy economy that you're holding up is gonna be managed well, because if you don't have an evade and they get a good spot on you, they can just take you out for free, and then power plays are difficult to defend properly as a barrier drops. But again, another power play for the side of Showtime. Yeah.
Okay, this was an insane point. Joker was just nothing but a super menace, and then they actually got him, but he got both barriers, and then another kill exchanged as well, and another kill. And now we have just a simple 2v2 for just a moment here, a couple seconds until Fudgy Waffles is up. There they are. Next one coming up, Joker. Fudgy off by a literal pixelation right there. Actually, Frightfully Fresh is going to get on through Joker once more. Now we're in overtime. Things are a little bit rough. Joker steals it away from Fudgy Waffles and gets that press the point passive, man. Oh my, that was a sick point. Like, I loved that point, man. We love damage.
Love damage, and it's here to stay. I feel like the crooked leverage there from Joker just gets it around Frightfully Fresh, and there's not much you can do at that point if you are in that goalie position. But almost immediately off kickoff, another KO being found now. Snake this time creating the power play for Demon's Raw. We'll see if they can make something with it.
Yeah, I feel like Joker is, for the most part, just getting in there, being just a bastard, doing all the damage he possibly can, and I think this time Demon's Raw was like, okay, we're gonna stop him immediately. And they pretty much did, although Snake now looking at a complete staggered bar and finally finds himself on off the map here. 2v1 against Fudgy Waffles in the midfield here, sends it on up to Joker, beats the pendulum swing with a simple strike, gets another one in there, strike reset. It's going to be good enough to get that barrier card box. Almost chokes that one for just a moment here. Flip from Frightfully Fresh goes for a crazy angle, top spin, not enough to get it through. Snake flying in there with the flurry, a crazy hit there. An assistance with card box, and Xianzhu made that pretty insane to get it on through there. Showtime is feeling themselves.
Playing really well, and they're now one goal away from taking a second set for themselves and getting themselves another draft where they're going to get priority on the Awakening. So we'll see if they can pull through with it, as Fudgy already down to half HP and not really keen on using these evades here, because you do have that flip soon. You do want to use that if you can, but I don't know if you have the choice to wait, because even more damage finds its way onto him as well there again as the attack does come through. Second barrier not found yet, and the KO now finally with that specialized Kazan. She just flies, man.
Yeah, oh my god, insanely unlucky angle there from Showtime. Xianzhu ends up using their drone, smashing it against the side, and hits a crazy angle, steal that barrier from Cardbox. Now we get an ult here from Fudgy Waffles. No one really in there to take the damage. Frightfully Fresh wins out on that situation to get the ball cleared just for a moment here in the hands of Joker. Can't seem to maintain control, and now Cardbox. Guess Snake just has no moves, gonna back up here, look for damage, that's what they're doing. Backs up, looks for damage, helps with the kill. The power play has now commenced here. Back pass on over to Frightfully Fresh. Trying to get the ball somewhere, trying to get the ball covered. Xianzhu covers that barrier nice and perfectly. Snake approaching as fast as they can with that flip. It's in. Somehow it's in. Showtime. Cardbox finds perhaps a crazy piercing shot. Hot shot, 1-2 punch, insane core speed. Takes the credit here, takes the first Awakening, and Showtime is looking good.
Looking real good. Estelle gets the first pick here as well. Wonder where she's gonna go with this one, as you do have the missile prop. You have the heavy impact. Bulk up also a pickup not to be underestimated. Size finds its way into Frightfully, which makes sense. Makes the defense as a fan for Erasmus a lot easier, as the heavy impact finds its way onto Xianzhu. And I don't know, Nao's not necessarily known for being a KO character, but if I'm looking at a Siphoning Wand, Monumentalist, heavy impact now, it's gonna start stacking up. So not only do you have an incredibly rough time trying to get past the midfield of Xianzhu there, you're also now gotta be wary to just not die for it.
Yeah, she's gonna probably bring some damage here and get some cooldown on that heavy impact. That orb is just so big now, and man, really quick, while we're chatting it up, the Joker finds himself on out of their Snake. Great double on the front side there, has a cooldown to go with it. They evade, just not quick enough, not in position quick enough to get that evade strike from Cardbox, and that was quick work Demon's Raw made of that entire point. Getting Joker out of there, getting that ball right in there. The double from Snake was enormous. Demon's Raw deserved that one.
That's what you got to be looking for, right? Get those power plays and then translate those or convert those into goals as fast as you possibly can. And they tried it again. They got a KO onto Joker yet again, but they can't find the barrier. Cardbox and Xianzu doing a really good job defensively here to still hold on. We'll see if they can get something. The barrier does actually drop now on their side as the Joker's trying to get a little bit fancy up front on that Kazan. Does not find that goal just yet, but the pressure is not slowing down. The HP bar from Joker is disappearing rapidly though. As the flip comes out now from Xianzu, it does not find its way past Frightfully just yet.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say Joker's getting a lot of value at Explosive Engines, if not just the distance, right? Getting owned and then being like, okay, I'm going to fly on over with my dash perk to the next orb. Keeps himself in the game too, doing so much damage. Got so much value out of their evade recently from dodging 2 ultimates. Now both barriers are down here for Demon's Raw. Strange's going to try to put it on in there. Frightfully Fresh smacks that with the Whiplash. It's not going to be good enough yet. Cardbox sacrifices the barrier to get one of these kills here. Power play. Most likely worth it for sure. We'll see if they can make it work. 1-2 punch smashing the ball into Xianzu's face. Joker getting as involved as they possibly can. Pops the orb. Doesn't really seem to get the ball. Holding the line here, Demon's Raw, as they knock Joker down to nothing. Grab the last barrier. Send Joker on out of here. Cardbox can't make it happen. Fudgy Waffles maybe has a chance to get in here with the boost, with the whammy. See if it happens. Nothing just yet. The ult comes out. Just an evade. See if Snake can grab this one. Can't make it happen. And 3v3 again.
They're back in play now. They're trying to find the goal, but the defense from Showtime is still holding up as the HP bars are just gonna get nuked continuously. Just before, I don't know where Joker's HP bar went. Fudgy just kind of decided he wasn't playing the game anymore, and that was that. But we'll see how it's gonna pan out here. Back in neutral, both sides trying to get past each other, but a well-timed dash from Fudgy will actually be enough to secure the goal here for the side of Demon's Raw, as they're now 1 goal away from forcing a set 5.
You know, there aren't too many situations of what I would call like anxious adrenaline than watching Luna dash right at you, and it's like, what do you do? Is there so many situations they have to deal with? Although double barrier here from the side of Showtime, gets a power play as well. Frightfully Flesh going to steal that barrier, at least with the pendulum swing. Cardbox smashing it against the wall, just trying to give it right to Joker. Spends the Death's Touch to get in front, and a nice kill from Snake. Lots and lots of damage, uses the flip, spends the flurry to hold the ball for just a moment, gets their strike cooldown. Snake kind of soloing the moment right here. Passes on to Fudgy once again. Xianzu just trying to get a little bit closer here with that flip. Gets pendulum swung. Yeah, this is going to be possible curtains. Extreme curtains as Xianzu decides to stun first before sending the flip on through. Now that is ingenious gameplay here. Xianzu keeping Showtime on the board for this set.
And it's just a really smart play as well, because you gotta think about it. Frightfully Fresh, he's gonna want to take a step back to give himself a little bit more room to react to a flip like that, which means he's gonna hug the edge. Xianzu just knew that ahead of time already, said, you know what, I don't need to hit the strike just yet. I can just walk up, take the KO with my primary, and strike right after it, and it worked so well. And that's just kind of like that like game knowledge and game IQ as well that you know from Xianzu, so we'll see if that's going to be enough as well, and if they can keep up the pressure here to maybe take the set. But as of right now, Demon's Raw are trying to take Joker out of the game. We'll see if they're going to have success with that before the side of Xianzu and Cardbox will find a score here.
Yeah, Cardbox getting really involved again with the aerials, and the eject button combo is getting them so close to the goal to make things happen here. A flip from Frightfully Fresh, nice. Cardbox going to save it with the Rose Warp. A flip here from Fudgy Waffles, not going to find a great angle. Joker getting involved again, even though they do not have full health, kind of being a little bit evasive here, decides to go straight for Snake. Doesn't seem to make it happen just yet. I don't know what, I swear he top spun the other direction, but we saw the kill, and that's fine. Okay, Rose Warpington. Literally warping into another reality where you've defeated Fudgy Waffles in Mortal Kombat. Cardbox, the winner for this point.
I feel like I could have seen that go both ways. Like, either you get that incredible angle like Cardbox did, or you just get hit by Luna and get scored on. But fortunately for Cardbox, it worked out for him as one barrier now falls. Snake uses the dash punch for it, as the Rose Warp will come out. trying to get the pressure going here, but it's do or die for Demon's Raw if you don't want to be losing this map. So they gotta be applying more of that pressure, and you can see that already, because one barrier is down, they're still looking to get the second one and will find it.
Yep, Snake grabs that first win here. A lot of pressure here from Frightfully Fresh here. Fudgy Waffles does help out in the goal zone, though. Very necessary. Snake always sitting on the speed gate. Very necessary for Juliet to make a really effective plays to get on in there as quickly as they possibly can. Joker, okay, almost gets the perfect 1v1 there. Cardbox almost helping. Frightfully Fresh survives here with the assistance of Fudgy Waffles continuously. Oh man, keep this point up. A flip right in front of the barrier. Oh my god, Joker almost gets it, but was a little bit too eager. Literally frames away. Snake flipping into the Crater Maker. Joker trying to stay alive here as well. Overtime kind of rolls on over here though. Cardbox really involved. Snake gets the kill, gets the point, keeps the speed. 1-2 punch. Snake keeps it up for Demon's Raw. Entering game, set 5 here though. This is kind of big, you know. We're seeing like an insane amount of kills. It's fast, like with 1-2 punch all over the place. It's not only there's kills and the damage being exchanged, but the ball is going at like insane speeds. We can see the barriers are non-existent. These barriers are crying. They cannot do anything other than die. So it's like super fast-paced gameplay.
You know what's gonna help with like kill-heavy, fast-paced gameplay? Adrenaline Rush, Prize Fighter, you know,
yeah.
like some tame awakenings that they don't really have that much influence, you know. So yeah, I mean, being picked up all around here. It's cooldowns, it's size for the Kazan, which is gonna help quite a bit for Joker as well. Unfortunately, it makes your hitbox a bit bigger as well, so it could backfire a little bit. And then obviously the Adrenaline Rush finds its way onto Frightfully Fresh, which honestly isn't going to get a lot of that those KO credits, but you're not going to want to let that drop down to anyone else. And the Prize Fighter could be starting to stack as well as Fudgy already has one stack on it.
Yeah. Prize Fighter is definitely like a silent killer, where it really doesn't feel like it does a lot, and then just out of nowhere, you die frame 1, and you're like, what happened? Oh, he's got 3 stacks, that's 1 million power. Snake wins a huge situation there, biggest interaction against Shianzu and Cardbox. Gonna take the first one. Demon's Raw clawing their way back, taking that last set, and possibly taking this entire game, dude, from the depths.
It didn't feel like it at the beginning, but it's getting really difficult. Okay, well, that's a way to get a KO lead. Really well played by Snake. He's just such a threat around these edges. It's just continuously finding KO after KO and just being so difficult for the side of Showtime to deal with. As the damage on the side of Showtime has slowed down a little bit. They've been playing a lot more control heavy. They haven't been able to find any of these KOs that they were able to find earlier in the game. Matter of fact, they're struggling to even stay up as another KO gets found by Snake there. Barrier not found yet. But surely that's just a question of time as the pressure is just continuously being built. Really well defended still from the side of Showtime. And the barrier does not drop. As now, Joker back on the field immediately though, getting damaged again down to half HP.
Yeah, incredible defense there from Shianzu. Cardbox, careful, buddy. Keep that barrier alive. Joker completely taken out once again. This seems to be Demon's Raw's main deck right now. Definitely dealing all the damage that they possibly can to Joker. And I was going to say, I really like Snake's build. Actually, I feel like the extra special is going together so well with what they're doing. The Flame Flurry is just doing so much damage. Snake finds himself unstaggered there by just a moment. Cardbox can't find the angle, ends up losing the barrier. Big for Demon's Raw, sends over the Crater Maker. Oh man, Frightfully Fresh smashes that one in overtime. A little bit extra power, 1-2 punch. Goes straight on through. You can see Adrenaline Rush is actually activated and gets, even though it was kind of like after the point, gets that cooldown as well. So they probably have full cooldowns for this point too.
It's definitely another KO being found. Also, Fudgy Waffles up to 4 Prize Fighter stacks now with this new patch. So that Luna's gonna hurt even more than she did already. And yeah, Demon's Raw, they're just looking to close this out now. They have another power play. They're finding KOs so fast and so consistently. It feels like there's gotta be some kind of like really strong push coming up from the side of Showtime to find this game, because the longer you stay in play, the more damage is gonna find its way on top of you. And that's not really gonna help you a lot when you have someone like Snake running around just farming KOs off the edge like he is currently.
Yeah, I gotta say, hats off to Joker. Like, I'm not sure what he's doing, but he is surviving what is definitely a triple Demon Raw onslaught. Like, you can tell that they are triangulating his every movement, but he's still on the board, not even staggered right now, finding their way to get to these orbs, using the flying away too, completely out of energy now though, but man, that was 57 seconds of just being owned and he survives that whole time. Fudgy Waffles, nice with the boost, gets that final barrier. Now it's the time to Teeman's RAHH to just finish this game. They have the power play. Joker's on their way back, has full cooldowns for sure. Fudgy Waffles smashing the ball. 204 power, Deadeye activated Super Surge. I mean, they are incredibly strong. Cardbox has nothing left, and that's it. Teeman's RAHH take that game. No one can get there in time. And that might just be the side effect of using all your abilities to destroy the opponent's health bars. You sometimes find yourself with no cooldowns there, and Teeman's RAHH squeezes that one in there. I mean, I felt like for the most part, like, it seemed like, oh, Snake was doing all the damage, and, like, I don't know, Firefly Flush was helping, like, you know, finish off kills, but, like, Fudgy was so powerful that game with what they had, although Joker was also just hitting all three play. It was like Joker goes in, all three players try to get him. He just does the maddening descent and just deals like 1,000 damage to everyone. So it's like, what a game! That was actually lit.
Yeah, that was very damage heavy. I don't know, if you guys like damage, you know, this might be the patch for you, because the lowest damage number in this game, 27,000 on Cardbox. Also, you see the difficulty of Joker just even staying in the game. He's sub 100 redirects, and that's not because he played it badly or anything. He just didn't get to play. There's just so much damage being tossed out by Frightfully Fresh, Fudgy Waffles, and then Snake as a KO in the end. Like, there's just not much you can do to interact with the core. He has a lot of damage to him as well, which means he did do a lot of that fighting, that brawling aspect of it as well. But it's just difficult, and you mentioned like core speed as well throughout the game. It's just so fast. It's just so difficult to deal with, and especially if you're on a pick like the Estelle in that net, if you don't have your abilities to cover the entirety of the net, it's just very difficult to hold up the defense, and quite a few times you saw that downside as the core snuck his way through Cardbox's defense there. As, yeah, I mean, Demon's RAHH deserved first win in this game. We'll see if they can keep up that energy, and if we're going to continue on that damage overall.
Yeah, you know, I don't think it's a surprise to anybody that, like, oh, you know, Awakening start is damage. Maybe the map start helps damage a little bit. Demon's RAHH looking good. People are like, yo, Demon's RAHH looking good for the most part. Yeah, no, they clutched that one out. Showtime was had a nice start. I liked what they were doing at the beginning there, and I feel like I liked what they did. I feel like everyone pretty much did their job at the end. It's just like some really tight situations where the core is just flying, you know, sometimes you've just used your movement to, like, stagger somebody, and now, oh, hey, Joker can finish them off in just a second, but then, like, that's my Rose Warp, it's gone, you know? Just situations like that become really rough when it's like, okay, we have to do damage, we gotta use moves, and, you know, it's tight. I could see, you know, if they literally replayed that whole game again and Showtime won, I'd be like, yeah, that made sense too. So, close game, really exciting, a lot of action in that one, but either way, we are gonna move on to the next map here, though, which is most likely gonna be. I actually didn't see it. Smile. Did you see it? Smile.
I didn't happen to see it either, but
It's
it
Gates.
is gonna be Gates. Okay,
That's an
interesting.
interesting
It
map.
could, yeah, it could go a lot of ways here. Like, you could just again have another like KO menace across the field. That could come into play if you have a really strong awakening for that department, or you could play a lot more control heavy. It really, I think starting awakenings are gonna define a lot in this game now. To see where it's gonna go.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like movement speed, just like on a surface level, it feels like run speed, movement speed, like the basic one on this map is like really important. Just being able to get around is so, like, because everyone has access to, like, basically two angles, right? Like, you can send the ball just kind of forward, or, you know, the portal is like basically like touching a barrier for the most part, and sometimes it's really close to the open goal too. So being able to, I think, get around or just have like effective range, like Finny secondary, or, like, you know, the Rose Warps and the piercing shots, affecting the ball from farther range is going to be really important here, though. And we have our monumentalist size start here, built different. Probably, you know, new patch. You know, I'm not really sure what's broken as heck, but maybe we'll see the now ban though. Xianzhu, I've heard pretty good at now, but, you know, is this really confirmed? I don't know.
Yeah, there's some rumors going around that it might be a good pick for him, so we'll see. if it's gonna be taken off as well. Obviously, Monumentalist now, we saw parts of it in the last game as well. It does have a lot of value. I feel like on a map like this now also has the hidden added benefit of just shutting down portal play by putting down a primary, walking away. And then enemy can't play through it anymore. It's at least more difficult for them to play through it. And especially I'm going to be intrigued to see where the character priorities are going to be here, because both of these awakenings are good, but they don't scream characters at me, right? You have the now on Monu most definitely, and surely with Build Different, you have a lot of brawlers that benefit really well from it. You have the Kazan, you have the Rasmus as well. Obviously, Julie is really good with it as well. So but nothing like, there's not really like a clear image that's being painted in front of me right now as the bans do come through now being taken off. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. And Vice being taken away from Showtime, Vice obviously being an incredibly strong character in this current patch.
Yeah, definitely trying to banish some of that damage as well. Although, yeah, picking Finny, pretty good as long as you can get that big finish onto the barriers with Monumentalist. That not sometimes gets both barriers, sometimes spends 5 cooldowns. I mean, it is just a really effective way to use that big finish. And now we see Luna setting up shop once again here, though. Going to be pretty interesting here, combined with the Estelle. Just kind of good. Card box might be sitting on that Estelle here, though. Shianzu maybe getting this Luna. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to go for. You know, I've seen Luna Brawler before. Sometimes Luna's only Brawler. She can kind of gets around in like a slow way. It's interesting. She kind of does some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she can slot in pretty much anywhere, and I feel like especially in a game like this as well. I feel like on a map like Obscura, Luna, she fills like a very specific role. I feel like, and that's just with the Crater Maker. You can just completely shut down an area of play. And on a map like Gates, where you find yourself so often in these tight little corners, it's interesting to see how that's going to interact with it as well. As Zentaro Juno gets locked in for Demon's Raw, yeah, I think they're going to do a bit of damage actually, because I can only imagine that's a double siphoning wand on Zentaro and Juno, and yeah, that's gonna hurt to go up against, especially this time around. You don't have a now that can at least heal you up every once in a while. You're just gonna have to take it or evade it.
No now, no Atlas. Pretty normal map. I mean, you do have the portals. There are situations where you actually can stand onto the portal when you are staggered and survive a little bit longer there, though. It's a little janky. I've seen people die in a lot of different situations, like on the portal, in the portal, whatever, though. But Kazan, I think, is a great pick here. We did see it do a lot of work last game, even though the team did not seem to clutch it out. I still think it was quite good. Joker is definitely going to be slamming that Kazan again. Size Start 2 is going to help quite a bit, and we'll see how that one translates here to some of these points, some of these barriers here, though. I'm really interested to see how many big finishes we get. Like I said, place that thing on the barrier, and it is very good. Like you said, though, we might be seeing an incredible amount of damage come out from Demon's Raw. I mean, they love damage, bro. They got Finny, Zentaro, Juno. Juno is like, does so much damage, even though she's not like a, yo, let's play damage comp with Juno. But it's like, Juno, she actually do be beating ass.
Yeah, the benefit of Juno is just there's a lot of like natural damage that just happens by her playing, by her putting down Blobos, that enemies just have to either take the damage on or allow that core interaction to have that core interaction, which it's just gonna progress naturally that way as well. And also, the Finny change, do not forget, her secondary, now even though she's gotten a lot of cooldown adjustments, I believe, her secondary now debuffs 30% instead of the 25, so if you get hit by that Finny secondary, it's going to hurt a lot more this time around as well.
Nice, good to see, good to hear. Although, as you had mentioned earlier as well, multiply that by 4 siphoning wands. We are about to get disgusting in our Gates of Obscura game as the first barrier goes down here. Joker going to get the credit for that one. Card box playing goalie Luna, which I could have probably figured out if I was a little bit smarter. No problem, though. They get that one out of the big finish. Rightfully Fresh spends at triple take. Gets it. Ball on out of there, though. Spends a little bit of extra time here, though. Can we survive? No way. That's way too many moves here, though. But the ball is still going to be spending a little bit of time on the opposing side of the field, though. We do have all 3 players back up, trying to get some of these barriers. Here goes for the Oni Blade. Gets it on through. Snake maintains control for just a moment, but loses it there. Card box is in here to add a couple of extra strikes, though. The Blob actually ends up keeping this team alive. Demon's RAHH is having a tough time with this one, although this power play might be curtains. The blob saves it again. Snake gonna hold the ball. It's really fast now, but Frightfully Fresh's spawn might be the thing that kept it alive. Joker finds a cooldown just in the ether, gets that one in there. Nice angle. That, honestly, I feel like the pop-up is a little hard to aim sometimes, but that was perfect.
Yeah, most definitely. It was an incredible defense coming out from Frightfully Fresh and Fudgy Waffles beforehand, but in the end it wasn't enough. As Fudgy, unfortunately, goes the wrong way on the defense there. But we're up to the next point, and Xianzu is just almost immediately getting hate crimes. That's just, man, that's a lot of damage coming through. As the flip comes out from Joker here as well, trying to slow down the play a little bit. Almost gets a second barrier. Demon's RAHH trying to get this power play value now as the big finish comes out as well. Does not find the second barrier, and again, I don't know what else to talk about other than just like, hey, there's a lot of damage, because that's just what's happening. There's just a lot of damage.
Honestly, you could talk a lot. You could talk a while about how much damage there is and who's be dealing it and why they're doing such things. I mean, it's nothing but damage here, though. One barrier up for each team here, though. Snake using the portals to survive as much as they can. Only Blade for the evade keeps them alive there, too, and allows them to grab that orb as well. Frightfully Fresh against Joker here. Holds that strike against the top spin. Masterfully done to hold that barrier. Once again, overtime is going to turn on over here, though. Xianzu gets it right through with that Crystal Thorns and then finds the barrier here, though. The blob is also going to help add a strike here, too. Fudgy Waffles maintains control of the ball here, though. Frightfully Fresh now passing it on down. Cardbox and Xianzu playing a double goalie, but there's blobs everywhere, eating people alive, especially putting that ball into the goal. Demon's RAHH, first point for the set.
Yeah, and that overtime is going to help so much for Demon's RAHH as well, because that Shuna is going to turn really difficult to be dealing with, especially if you're on something like a Luna goalie. You don't necessarily have a lot of good tools to be dealing with that core speed that's going to come out from the Juno. So, very good for the side of Demon's RAHH to go into overtime, but it doesn't even look like they want to at this point. They take both barriers, get the attack going as well. Almost, Snake almost dying, so is Xianzu as well. It's just, again, like, damage, you know? I don't know. It's just wrong.
Damage.
I wouldn't want to play this, in all honesty. This is difficult to play, because there is just so much damage coming through.
Yeah, it is. There's definitely a lot happening. You can see that the goalies want to get involved. They want to do damage. They got to protect the barriers. I mean, Frightfully Fresh has been all over the board here with a bunch of close calls on losing these barriers here, though. Joker can't get it through as well. Loses their entire health bar in literally a second, mostly to that triple take added damage, like you mentioned earlier as well. Now, hanging on to life by literally a string. The ball is just about to get on through. Cardbox whiffs, gets the distance on that flip to save their point here, although they are in a reverse power play right now. Demon's RAHH feeling really good about this last moment here, though. Yeah, Snake gets it right on through. Xianzu can't find the distance for that strike there. Man, it is... Wait. Damage. I got it.
Yes, exactly. Damage. And I feel like it's always a race as well of who's going to snowball it first, right? Who's going to be getting those big HP bars down first and play off of those advantages, because right now the side of Showtime actually found a lot of pressure onto Fudgy there. It gets him pretty low, not really able to do anything in the play anymore, which forces a pseudo power play. Fudgy can't get involved anymore, which means you're essentially playing a 2v3 on the core, which makes it more difficult for Demon's RAHH to play out. They do find one barrier, the second one as well from Snake, actually really well played to get that through, but they still need to find the goal, and as it stands right now, Showtime is holding on to this defense pretty tightly.
Yeah, it really is a delicate balance here, though. Like, when do we go for damage? When do we go for the ball? Are we really in danger? It's just so much to pay attention to. As Demon's RAHH has a lot of control here, though. Man, Snake really close to getting that one through. Xianzu actually has the patience to hold that flip. Cardbox goes on in there with that boost, getting it on through. They're really trying to work on this barrier. You can see that Fudgy Waffles is really maintaining this second goalie situation. This barrier is more valuable than gold itself. Snake slices and dices. Cardbox gets that ball on through there, though. Demon's RAHH taking the first set here, though. It's been damage. I feel damage. I smell damage. It's damage. And Fudgy Waffles is just going to add to the pile. Man, 1-2 punch. I see it. I see it.
1-2 punch, there's the heavy impact, there's specialized training, there's bulk up, there's super surge. Just pick your poison at this point. The 1-2 punch coming through for the Juno is going to do so much with that core speed, and again, just more output as well for those KOs. Super Surge finding its way onto Luna again. Gonna help a lot with that extra bit of... Well, I don't want to keep saying damage, but I don't know how else to say it. But that little bit of extra damage coming through for Cardbox. Spark of Strength for Xianzu, gonna set up that scaling a little bit. And heavy impact for Frightfully Fresh. Also not to be underestimated. Those cooldowns on Finny, they can get really scary if they're gonna go down to the 5 seconds or something like that, if everything goes right. So... yeah, difficult, again, as always, difficult to play, a lot of damage in play as well, as both barriers now go down, and Showtime are now looking to take this first goal, but the defense is holding on to Frightfully Fresh. Fudgy Waffles also positioning really well to kind of protect that second line as well, to layer those strikes, as now Snake is back in play, and the attack is now going for Demon's Raw.
Yeah, another situation like we saw last game, though. We saw lots of damage, lots of core speed. Fudgy Waffles getting that 1-2 punch is going to do exactly that. And it's a little bit more like, feels more enhanced either with Juno as well. She just does so much core speed with that 1-2 punch. And the Strike with Friends passive, I got it. Strike with Friends. Damage coming out here, guys. You wouldn't know it, but we got damage. That's a power play here for the side of Showtime. Joker's going to grab that ball, and that's an open goal. That's press the point. That's Joker with a prime time as well. It's going to be real difficult. Mix-ups for days. Gets the ball on through Frightfully Fresh. Showtime is ahead. Is there a head in this set? But damage could happen.
It could very much happen, and this is essentially, the point like that is what Showtime is looking for, because that Luna goalie is not really strong defensively. You want to play on advantages. You want to play an enemy half and apply pressure through being so oppressive. If you're stuck in your own half, it's incredibly difficult to play, so it's so important for the side of Showtime to find these barriers quick and get that goal open, because not only is that going to enable the Luna to do incredibly much up front, it's also going to put Frightfully Fresh into a position where he's kind of stuck in his own half. He can't really make use of these momentum boots. Well, no, Snake wanted to go for the kill, but unfortunately hits the core with it. Oh, that's unfortunate. It doesn't even get the kill on Joker.
You know, he's really close to getting the level. Maybe he thought, you know, if I score a goal at some point here, I'll get this level. And they successfully do. But still didn't level up. No problem, though. 2 here for the side of Showtime right now. Snake looking at absolute 0, ground 0 now, as they have been completely vaporized. One big finish is going to grab the barrier here. Frightfully Fresh against the Joker and Xianzu. Fudgy Waffles coming in to help. And yeah, dude, it's not even close to overtime. And that's a red ball right on through Cardbox. You know, spending a lot of, like you mentioned, you know, we're spending a lot of these cooldowns, just dealing damage. Here comes the boost, here comes the whammy. I mean, the ult might be up, I'm not really sure, but Cardbox has nothing for a few seconds here. If Snake just, like, gets a situation, yeah, I mean, we see Cardbox just has nothing. Spent the wand, spent the whammy, but, yeah, that's a lot of blobs, got it on through Xianzu, and Cardbox, yeah, I mean, it's not Cardbox's fault, I'm just saying. We're spending cooldowns, we're hitting people, the ball's going fast. These things happen.
They very much do, and that's exactly why that Juno matchup is just so difficult, because these Blobbles are just going to apply so much pressure, and you have a limited amount of cooldowns for this Luna, and especially because, again, you want to play those cooldowns aggressively, you want to push that advantage, which means usually you don't necessarily have them to help defense, which makes it even more difficult. As Demon's Raw are keeping up the pressure up top here, find a KO onto Xianzu, actually. Now Showtime in a deficit here, but they find a KO on Snake as well. As one barrier does drop, second one is staying alive. Cardbox up front as well. He stays up front to accelerate that pressure a little bit more. And again, this Juno character just doing everything she can with these bubbles, being so oppressive and just getting so much pressure onto the defensive end. Xianzu and Joker now getting one barrier, almost gets a second one, but a clean strike from Frightfully Fresh will hold on to the barrier, and the second one dropping now on Cardbox. As Demon's Raw are looking to take this point home. Cardbox going for a funny dash with these portals, obviously. Sometimes it does happen quite weirdly, and a beautiful angle from Fudgy there. Actually, we'll get it right past Xianzu, not able to get there in time and defend as we're going into a 0.5.
Get in there, Fudgy. Get active, dude. Next point. Starting up here, though. We're trying to win this one. 2-2 in this set. Waffle strike word there with Xianzhu. Xianzhu's going to win out on that one. The blobs have activated, although Xianzhu holds the line once again. A flip here from Frightfully Fresh is going to be thwarted here from Cardbox, who's going to spend theirs now, feeling the pressure from Snake. The big finish comes out. They get it on through the Oni Blade. Snake on the left out to dry there, though, although doing a lot of damage to Cardbox here. Fudgy Waffles goes in for the big jump flip combo and finds himself Gonzo. So they're going to be in this power play. Demons RAHH trying to hold on to this point here, though. Showtime making a lot of use of this top corner. Frightfully Fresh with a nice hold is going to actually get this one out. Hold both barriers there, though. Oh, man, Juno, once again with the crazy core speed, is going to steal that barrier away. The Joker can't seem to maintain control of the ball there either, though. Goes on in there with the passive with the help of a blob once again. Gets that barrier. The core speed is just too much. Juno placing other Junos onto the board is really strong. The flip, noticing Cardbox probably has nothing, is going to end it, though. Nice one there from Snake. I mean, they were just about on death's door, get that flip value, and man, there ain't too much more value than getting that point.
Yeah, most definitely, and you get yourself a draft priority here as well. The Adrenaline Rush finding its way onto Finny. It's going to be quite valuable as well. It's not really the person you want to have it on, but you're also not giving Adrenaline Rush to either Xianzhu or Cardbox. So very valuable pickup in the end. Still, as Hotshot is being picked up by Xianzhu, an incredible awakening for Estelle. Twin Drive going to do a lot for Cardbox, allowing him to be even more active, and that's what he's been struggling with, right? It's that lack of cooldowns, and having a Twin Drive, having those secondaries even just a little bit more, can make that difference to actually get themselves into a winning position here.
Definitely could be happening, though. Joker also finds himself a little bit of size here, though. Size goes on some of the scariest stuff you can see in the game. When it comes to core control, for the most part, but we are beating the crap out of each other. The blobs are coming on through. Actually finds the way out into the portal and into one of Demons RAHH's barriers. Really good for Showtime. Cardbox getting active there. A little weak right now, though. Kind of holding on to dear life. A lot of damage being dealt. You can see the other two players, right, on their team coming back and helping out Cardbox and just dealing damage to those who are trying to deal damage. And now we see Cardbox is completely alive. The power play has happened. And guys, if you're just asking yourself, how do I play strikers? Like, what am I supposed to do when my guy's getting beat up? Go kick someone's ass, man. That's what you gotta do. As we can see here, Showtime doing a really good job of playing defensive in that spot. Nice hit there, man. Xianzhu gets it on through. Joker revived by the recovery zone. Would have been value if they didn't get the point, but all good there.
Yeah, most definitely. Joker, though, even though the recovery zone is gone now, and you also don't have any evades. So if Fudgy and Snake decide that you're just gonna go take a nap outside of the arena, they can just do that. So we'll see if that's going to come into play, as was actually Frightfully Fresh is the one that might have to take a little bit of a lead here. Down to Stagger. The flip does come out as Joker still gets taken out. And now power play in favor of Demons RAHH. Can they find a barrier here? No, they can't. Cardbox doing a really good job here. Dashing up, takes the barrier, uses the flip. An excellent strike timing, gets it past Fudgy there as well. Really strong showing for Cardbox, and that's why you want the Luna pick for situations like that, where you can just casually be a third forward and just get those scores in.
That was really interesting setup. Cardbox went for the flip and dip and then ulted the ball to themselves. Fudgy actually did get a blob on it, but it did not have the timing to actually change anything that was happening, but that was kind of lit from Cardbox there. Big kill once again. Humongous kill again. Xianzhu helps out with this power play to even it up. One barrier down here from Showtime. Frightfully Fresh is going to hold the line with those momentum boots. Finny being as fast as she can be here, though. Big finish comes out. Does not find the perfect angle, but sort of clears the ball. Joker with a nice strike there is going to steal that barrier off as well. Here comes the Crater Maker to force some evades out there. Everyone's going to jump and try to get the ball here, though. Snake can't maintain control. Frightfully Fresh gets eaten by the Crystal Thorns. Now Joker has complete control of the ball. Doesn't get the angle they were looking for exactly. Once again, Xianzhu giving the ball on over there, though. Runs forward nicely, and we can't cover literally everything unless you are Xianzhu, bro. Gets that one in. Showtime. Finally on the board.
Awkward situation for Frightfully Fresh there, because they went for the debuff on Joker, but that kind of eliminated most of the clear options. So I had to try to play it up and hope that Fudgy might get the touch on it first, but Xianzhu was there, and now they're getting rewarded with a peak performance pickup. A little bit of stagger can go a long way. We'll see if it's gonna make the difference, though, because we do have missile propulsion on the Finny. Prize Fighter on Cardbox, just more damage falling into everyone's hands here. As Size gets denied off of Joker makes sense, but I feel like Joker's still incredibly happy with the fight or flight pickup.
No doubt. Yeah, that was a pretty difficult spot there, though, trying to deny Kazan there, the Size, which is still pretty good, but fight or flight could be better in this situation here for Joker. We'll see what happens. Xianzhu nicely picking up peak performance, too. Yeah, like the health, man, has never been more valuable than now. See what happens here. The big finish is exactly where you want it to be. They do save a barrier, though, which is kind of by the grace of God. A kill comes out, I think, from Fresh, bro. Gets cooldowns back. The misdirection is going to be good. Fudgy struck it right through the Joker. That was kind of an alarming moment. The Blob's going to help speed things up. Frightfully Fresh is trying to get involved. The big finish comes out once again, and it's a tough spot for Showtime when you're kind of out of cooldowns. Like, it's the ball. Yeah, big finish.
Yeah, really. I mean, that is just so difficult to deal with again if you don't have these abilities to be working with. And I don't know if you noticed as well, the Adrenaline Rush from Frightfully Fresh, every single time he's just part of a KO. It's like 750 movement speeds. Like, it just turns into a forward at this point. There's just so much mobility and so much pressure that can be generated from it. So that just adds so much to the no!
No!
You can say it was Fudgy's master plan if you want. I say he probably just jumped away not thinking about it, but the blob was still there. The core and found the goal.
Guys, it could be time to ban Juno. Who knows? Maybe placing more Junos on the blob with your moves, or moves on the blob is... Whatever, dude. Really great play there. Fudgy Waffles MVP of the entire game. Setting up this next point here, though. Both barriers going down here. Cardbox has this flip to get them out of some situation. Fudgy Waffles also has a flip. Possibly find themselves approaching here, though. Dips in that situation, though. The Joker gonna actually steal a resource, but man, Fudgy perhaps had set that up from the beginning. Demons RAHH taking the entire series through that flip. Kind of insane situation. I mean, it was pretty similar to the last game. Like, they were just going for mega damage. 4 siphoning ones. I mean, are we real right now? That was kind of insane, but I mean, the ball was just going a little too fast. I think that was kind of what happened in the first game as well. The ball was just going too fast while everyone was doing their thing, and I mean, the Juno had the core speed this time. Fudgy Waffles made great use of it.
Yeah, most definitely. And again, you see the numbers, not a single character below 20,000 damage. And keep in mind, this was a 4-set game, I believe. So this doesn't even go to the max, right? They can only get worse from here, essentially. But Demons RAHH, I feel like, just throughout this game and the game previously as well, it seems like they've adjusted extremely well to this changing gears, and they're just finding all the right picks to be so oppressive. The core speed, what he mentioned, is very much a thing as well. Higher power means higher core speed, means more chaos. But if you have the correct characters to be dealing with all of that chaos, like a Juno, like a Finny as well, you just have a much easier time executing, and I feel like that's what it came down to today as well. Also curious how much it was just Cardbox being in the net, right? Not sure how adjusted to that position they are, but even then, like, you can put the best goalie in the world into the matchups that he had to deal with today, and that's not gonna, at times, not gonna change much.
Yeah, for sure. I think Cardbox did a pretty solid job there, doing a lot of damage. I mean, that is their job. You pick Luna goalie, you pick Luna anywhere. I mean, you're really there to just deal a lot of damage, unless you guys have like crazy cooldown and you're just boosting all over the place. So I think did a pretty solid job here with both goalies as subs for this week, for this set. Honestly, that was a really exciting match, and I was pretty happy to be a part of it there, though. But don't go away, guys. Of course, we have another match coming up here in a few seconds here, in a few moments, actually. It's going to be PPL versus Bun Bonanza. I'm sure you want to see this. Don't go away. We'll be back in a few minutes with that match.